Tonight on Elon Local News.
The floor is broke.
Students in CREST apartments were forced to evacuate their home over the weekend after a concrete floor cracked and caved. We'll give you an update on the situation. On this Martin Luther King Day, groups across North Carolina remember the civil rights leader.
There's no other dog like Luke.
How one animal shelter is helping more people find their perfect pet. All that and more, Elon Local News starts right now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Gittleman. And I'm Samantha Casamento. We begin tonight with some new developments on CREST apartments where people were recently evacuated. Jackie Pascal was on the scene and has more information. Jackie?
That's right, Megan. I was on the scene when 37 students were evacuated from the CREST Apartments building 2020 yesterday morning. According to the director of Elon University News Bureau, Owen Covington, the relocation came as a result of a cracked and sagging concrete floor, causing the building to become structurally unsafe. Since then, they've been relocated to the Best Western in Burlington. In a meeting last night, which I was told I was not allowed to be in by the Elon staff and administration who were there, as well as a representative from the Price Company who owns the CREST buildings, and they broke down some of the details of this relocation. So relocated students without meal plans are told they'll be reimbursed up to $25 per day for food, but those with meal plans will have to commute back to campus to use them. Some students I spoke to after the meeting are not happy about this commute. They did not want to speak on camera, but they said getting parking passes seemed up in the air. For those without cars, the Price representative tells the students to use Uber and save their receipts for reimbursement. I checked out how much that would cost this afternoon, about $9 or $10 for a ride to the Best Western. And a student I spoke to at the meeting was one of the first to notice the crack in the floor.
As everyone was leaving, I looked down, I'm like, the floor is broke. But I didn't expect the whole building to be evacuated. But it makes sense because if that goes and a support beam goes, that goes the building.
It's $89 per night to stay at the Best Western in Burlington. Multiply that by 37 students. And this relocation is costing the Price Company more than $3,000 a night. The Price representative says this is only the 2-day plan, and they'll reassess once businesses return to normal hours tomorrow. The evacuated building's residents were told to pack for at least 10 days. But they say they're hoping to be back home sooner. Megan and Samantha, back to you.
Thanks, Jackie. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would have been 89 years old today. The legacy he left behind was celebrated across the state. People lined the streets for the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day parade in downtown Greensboro this morning. Marching bands, local businesses, and community members gathered to honor Dr. King. Students from the New Garden Friends School took a photo to the parade. Dean of the school, Tanisha Jones, was excited to share this experience with her kids.
A lot of kids just see this as a day off, and it's not just a day off. It's a day about giving back, being part of service, and so we wanted to give them the opportunity. If in the history of New Garden Friends School we don't ever do this again, at least they know what this day should be.
Students huddled together to keep warm as they watched the parade alongside their teachers. Students like Jaden Douglas shares why Martin Luther King Jr. is an important figure to celebrate.
He kind of thought that was unfair since we're basically all people. We all should be equal. And that's what he means to me. He means like freedom to all.
To learn more about upcoming events to honor Martin Luther King, check out the International Civil Rights Center and Museum located in Greensboro, North Carolina. Back on campus, our Rachel Ellis spoke to some members of the Black community at Elon on how they think Martin Luther King Jr.'s life is being remembered. A day of remembrance.
A day of remembrance. The streets of downtown Greensboro and Burlington were filled celebrating the life of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. 50 years later. But driving through Elon's campus today, silence.
Any speech that Martin Luther King gave, other than I Have a Dream, most students on this campus wouldn't get very far. And so I think that's a part of the problem, is that most students on this campus just don't know about civil rights or don't see it as something that's still relevant.
If you were to walk into the Mosley Center, you might notice it's a bit quiet. For some students, it's just another day off, but for others, there's a deeper meaning behind it.
I don't think a lot of students are treating this as a day to look back and reflect on racial relations in America.
McMichael says that Elon can do a better job in engaging in about civil rights on a day like today.
My friends at their schools, people are out on the campus. They're doing these huge service events. They're having, speakers come in. They're having different conversations. They're talking about their climate at their campuses. I'd like to see more of that.
President of the Black Student Union at Elon, Derek Lister, says it's about going the extra mile in order to find different ways to commemorate not just MLK, but the dream he had.
Go out and do the work that he did and that he fought for us to be able to do. And that's something that I think is a disconnect.
He wants students to know that it's also important to just reflect on the meaning behind the day.
I hope people are using this time to internalize all of the emotions of MLK Day and actually think and reflect about what's going on.
Rachel Ellis, Elon Local News.
For information on events hosted throughout the rest of the week, check out Elon's cultural calendar on ENN.
This year also marks the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr.
As his legacy is celebrated around the country, Kenneth Brown Jr. and Elon Jr. and a member of the Black Student Union is here to talk about the impact of Dr. King here on campus and across the country. Hello, thank you for joining us.
No
Thank
problem, anytime.
So what kind of activism do you see around campus?
So some different types of activism includes people joining different types of campaigns, whether these are social media campaigns or using statements by wearing different types of colored clothing and things like that, just to show people and get people aware about the things going on in the country.
And how can other Elon students get involved?
Just going to events regularly put on by the CREST or any other diversity-related department, going to different student organization events, and just stepping outside their comfort zone and learning about the world that they probably haven't experienced in a minute.
And what does MLK Day mean to you?
To me, it shows me where we've been. It shows me the progress that we have made, but it also shows, how far we still have to go. We still have a long way to go to make sure that every person in this country, in this world, even on our campus, have access and success to be as successful and to thrive and to be the best person that they can be. And we still have a long way to go to get equality for all. So to me, it's a good day to give back to the community, but also to look ahead, to look forward, and say, "Come on, guys, let's keep on running."
All right, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem, anytime.
And coming up, we have weather.
You're watching Elon Local News.
Winter term is a popular time for Elon students to study abroad, including Elon's Interactive Media Graduate Program, or IMEDIA. Graduate students in IMEDIA just returned from a week-long trip to Haiti, which has recently been in the news after President Donald Trump allegedly used vulgar language to describe the country. Trump denies ever making the comments, but that didn't stop one IMEDIA student from sharing her thoughts after visiting the country. Just 4 days after Kendall Dysart returned to Elon, she was shocked to hear how the president described Haiti.
I was just flabbergasted. I couldn't believe that anyone would say that, let alone the leader of our nation.
Dysart traveled to Haiti for a week with a team of students from Elon's Interactive Media Graduate Program. IMEDIA sends students to countries across the world every winter term to complete a public good project by helping different companies create websites, videos, and social media content. Dysart's group worked with Haitian Heritage and Friends of Haiti, a nonprofit dedicated to building the Haitian community in Charlotte and helping relief efforts in Haiti.
We played with kids, we experienced real Haitian food, we listened to compa music, which is kind of Haitian dance music. So we were in Haiti. We were fully immersed.
After her experience in the Caribbean nation, Dysart says Trump's comments couldn't be more wrong.
They've had a really, really tough time, but it's such a beautiful country. They speak beautiful language. They have beautiful music. There's just color everywhere, and I just don't think that his comments reflect Haiti or the spirit of Haiti at all.
Sunday night, Trump addressed these comments, claiming not to be a racist.
I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed.
But Dysart says his comments say otherwise.
I do think Trump is a racist. I don't know if he means to come off that way. I'm sure he doesn't in his own mind, but I think that the rhetoric that he uses and the things that he says, there's no way for him not to be.
Living in the U.S., Dysart says people don't always see Haiti accurately represented in media, but she hopes others will think twice before making judgments.
We cannot be living in a first world nation that we're very, very lucky to be born where we have been born, and that we need to keep that in mind.
Interested in hearing more about the IMEDIA students' trip to Haiti? They'll be presenting their projects on January 23rd at 12 p.m. in Turner Theater.
Well, Megan, last week was so warm here in Elon, and now it's getting so much colder. I'm so disappointed about it.
I know, I heard it might even snow on Wednesday. Not quite sure about that one,
no.
but luckily we have Cami Banky outside in Citroen Plaza to tell us how this cold weather is going to turn out. Cami?
Good evening. It was quite a cold one today, with temperatures only hovering around the mid-30s, and there was still ice lingering in some areas on campus despite the sun and dry conditions. We are looking at some warmer temperatures ahead later in the week, but we're going to have to get through some wintry weather first. So for tomorrow, we can expect a little bit warmer temperatures with a high of 49 and a low of 27. But then when we get to Wednesday, that's when we're going to see some snow, which is expected to be about 1.5 to 2 inches of accumulation. And if you are planning to be on the road during that time in the evening, Tuesday night, do be careful because roads can be slick. There will be a high of 33 and a low of 18 degrees. And on Thursday, we're back to sunshine with a high of 46 and a low of 22. Then on Friday, the sunshine continues well into the weekend with a high of 54. And then Saturday, temperatures finally warming up to a high of 58. That is your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Back to you guys in the warm, toasty studio.
Thanks, Cami. If you're a fan of Mediterranean food, your long wait is almost over. Elon News Network got exclusive access inside Mediterranean Deli and Catering, located under Park Place Apartments before its opening next month. According to the owner of Mediterranean Deli and Catering, Jamil Kadora, the restaurant will open in mid-February. Kadora says he's looking to hire Elon students to work at the deli in a variety of positions. Any student interested in applying can email catering@mediterraneandeli.com or call 919-967-2666 for more information.
The bar and restaurant West End Terrace has been closed since last summer, but this year that's expected to change. According to operations manager for Joel Brown Rentals, Stuart Kozort, the space is going to be a new restaurant with a completely renovated bar and kitchen. Kozart says the renovation plans are still being drawn up and there's not a date for when the new restaurant will open.
Some mistakes on personalized bricks have still not been corrected since homecoming, and some alumni are not happy. We have a follow-up to that story.
You're watching Elon Local News.
Around the nation, a dangerous challenge has been taking place. Kids and teens are posting videos of themselves eating Tide Pods, capsules that contain laundry detergent, calling it the Tide Pod Challenge. Over the weekend, Tide released a video with New England tight end Rob Gronkowski warning consumers that Tide Pods are for laundry, not eating. Tide Pods include a mixture of ethanol, hydrogen peroxide, and polymers. So far in 2018, the American Association of Poison Control Centers has reported 37 cases of teens exposed to the capsule. Half of these cases were described as intentional. Now, I cannot believe this is happening. Honestly, Megan,
I know, it's scary because they come in those little kind of boxes and they're so accessible, especially if you have small children at home. So it's really good. I think that someone like him is kind of stepping up and saying, no, don't do this, because kids will probably listen to it
and
stop,
I've been seeing all over Instagram, there's so many like memes and videos about like Tide Pods, and it's like everyone's gonna...
Yeah, it's not funny, it's not a joke.
It's not.
It's definitely dangerous. Well, back here in Elon, red bricks are a staple on campus, but for some alumni, they're causing headaches. ENN first reported in November some personalized bricks purchased by alumni, including 2017 alum Jeremy Clemens, had errors.
Actually, my Greek letter says Delta Psi. I was in Delta Upsilon, which I was a little upset about originally, but they were super, super accommodating. Like, I literally told them they had like a form ready for me to fill out. They were like, it'll be fixed so soon.
More than 2 months later, Clemens' brick and others still have errors. Clemens, who now lives in New York City, says his personalized brick has been a frustrating experience.
It's definitely a bummer. I mean, like, we paid money for it. I mean, obviously I haven't been back to Elon since homecoming, so I'm like not really reminded of it, so it's like not that frustrating, but definitely like something I would like to get switched.
Elon News Network called the Office of Alumni Engagement, but no one could be reached for comment.
As we are about to begin the final full week of winter term, let's take a look at what's happening this week at Elon. Tomorrow, a special college coffee will take place at noon in McKinnon Hall. The event, called The Rising Tide of Racial Consciousness, will commemorate the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr.
On Wednesday, there's the First Amendment Free Food Festival in the Snow Atrium in the School of Communications from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. The purpose is to help students understand the implications of the First Amendment by signing those rights away.
And the Department of Performing Arts presents Moment. The show will run from Friday, January 19th through Sunday, January 22nd, and Tuesday, January 30th through Saturday, February 3rd in Roberts Theater. Performances are 7:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 2 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
The Elon Board of Aldermen is holding a public hearing tomorrow. One of the topics up for debate, the news ticker outside the comm school. The electronic sign that wraps around the outside of our studio has yet to run regularly since it was installed. According to university spokesman Owen Covington, a town ordinance requires a 2-second break between headlines, something the ticker software does not allow. The university is now asking for the ordinance to be revised to allow continuous message loop without the delay. The public forum will happen tomorrow, January 16th at 6 p.m. at Elon Town Hall on Williamson Avenue.
One Elon alumna found out today that she just fell short of her Olympic dreams. Alum Veronica Day was fighting for one of 2 spots on the Olympic skeleton team, a sport where a person rides on a small sled down a frozen track at 80 miles per hour while lying head first. While at Elon, Day was on the track and field team. She tried skeleton racing after watching the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver and had been working to make the Olympic skeleton team for the past 7 years. In a statement to ENN, Day said, quote, "Today, they named the team and I will unfortunately not be a part of it. I have been a national team member of Team USA and overall title winner, but with a talented group of women, it just wasn't quite enough and I fell short. For that, I am disappointed, but the journey thus far has been amazing." The Winter Olympics are set to begin February 9th in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
I think it's honestly just exciting, even the prospect of having someone from Elon.
It really is just amazing, like the fact that she's part of the Elon community. Like even though she did graduate, like it's still crazy to think that she could have been in the Olympics and we could have seen her on TV. And I know she's still going to be doing great things, even though she won't be on the Olympics. Maybe she'll make it, the next time there's the Olympic Games.
Yeah,
but
I never heard of the skeleton team before. Personally, I always liked watching ice skating when I was little. I would just stare at it all day long. My parents thought I was going to be an ice skater, but no.
Yeah, it's honestly mesmerizing to watch that. But I'm personally a fan of snowboarding. I think it's like super fun and cool, but yeah.
Yeah, well, back to sports. The Elon's men's basketball team will be back in action on Thursday when it travels to James Madison. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 7 p.m. The Phoenix is coming off of a split weekend, losing Thursday's game against UNC Wilmington in overtime 78-80, and then defeating league favorite College of Charleston on Saturday 63-58. The Elon women's basketball team will be back in action in Alumni Gym on Friday after losing 2 games on the road this weekend, including a 75-81 loss at William & Mary yesterday. And finally, both the men's and women's tennis teams started their spring seasons this weekend. Both teams picked up a pair of victories against North Carolina A&T and North Carolina Wesleyan College to get off to a hot start in the cold weather. Choosing to adopt a new furry friend can be a big decision. After the break, we found one family where the decision was easy.
You're watching Elon Local News.
After nearly 3 years of planning, the Burlington Animal Shelter is set to break ground on its new expansion plans this year. Brooke Wavag has more on the impact of the expansion and one dog who found his forever home.
At the Burlington Animal Shelter, big plans are underway for 2018.
When you're building a building of this size, it's a lot of detail and a lot of planning and a lot of pieces to that goes into it.
The groundbreaking for the expansion is set for the spring, and the finished product will allow the shelter to hold more animals until they can find their forever homes. Like Luke, who recently found his home with the Toberman family in December.
My dog is super sweet and calm, and his name is Luke. He loves to dress up and he loves belly rubs.
At 7 years old, Luke was one of the older dogs at the shelter.
Not everybody's prepared to take on a dog that's older or has medical issues, but they're really wonderful pets. The one benefit about adopting an older dog is typically they're already house trained and they don't have that puppy energy.
But for the youngest of the family, age is just a number.
He's cute. Since Luke is older, less people want to look at him or adopt him. But like older dogs aren't much different than puppies. Like they'll all get there.
And teaching old dogs new tricks isn't always necessary.
Like he's perfect. Like there's no other dog like Luke. That's for sure.
Brooke Wivak.
No, that's the mic. No.
Elon Local News.
Here we go. Ready, 5.
For more on the Burlington Animal Shelter and pets currently up for adoption, check out the Burlington Animal Shelter page on Facebook. Well, Megan, Luke was definitely a very cute dog.
I know. I'm so sad. We're not allowed to have pets in our apartments on campus.
So disappointing.
Do you have any dogs at home?
I have 3 dogs at home. They're all small, so it's not a big deal. They're not like 3 huge dogs running around the house. But yeah, I love them so much.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. And actually, my favorite thing to do though is to volunteer for an animal rescue. Like there's one right by my house and I foster dogs for them and I go to like the adoption events and it's a really fun thing to do.
That's really awesome. I bet they're going to be needing more volunteers now that they're expanding at the shelter as well. So that's definitely something to look out for. Also to look out for, we do have a show on Friday. I won't be here. I'm going to the Sundance Film Festival.
That's going to be so great, but it's at 12:30 and we have Jack Norcross and Cami Venke anchoring it. It's going to be a fabulous show, so definitely tune in for that.
Absolutely. That's all the news we have for you tonight.
And for these stories and more, check out our website elonnewsnetwork.com, and make sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
Elon Local News will be back on Friday at 12:30 for a special midday show.
Thanks for joining us, Elon, and have a great night.